Market update time. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so there is a market update in this. That's what this video is about, market update. Alright, what screen can I show you? We'll go this one here, the one with all my indicators on it. We'll do that one there. Alright, go through here. Let me zoom this up. So, what actually happened? Fed minutes come out, yada yada yada. Market came down to the support line and held it strong. Noticing that the market held it strong at this support line, but the volume actually wasn't big. It wasn't as big as this bar here. Now that's actually saying something. They're starting to get a bit more selling pressure in the mix of all this. So we're definitely getting a lot more selling pressure in the mix of all this as well too. So let me just do this. Alright, there we go. I think that's a little bit better. So, what's actually happened here is, you can see how, obviously the market's been bouncing off here, and bouncing off here. You can see how the market's just continued to rise up through here. And I was saying before, that with this volume here, this volume here, even though we had a big bounce off here, the volume actually is not bigger than yesterday. And we actually had, a couple of news announcements and the Fed meetings. So you expect a little bit more volume than a day that didn't really have much announcements. So that's actually showing you, if you look at this here, you actually can see this selling volume here is actually starting to come in. So anyway, so what actually happened is obviously the market bounced off that support level. I actually did think that was going to happen. As I was saying before, last couple of videos, I did think that was going to happen because that's generally what happens when the Fed speaks. Things just go crazy. So, but look at where we are right now, guys. We're just, it was just a 1% update, nothing major. It wasn't even really a spike, and wasn't really like, oh my goodness, this is incredible, and the market just shoots up 2%. It just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So it just does not happen. So looking at where we're at right now, guys, we continue to step up, and so so it's definitely interesting to see. Now, one thing that I do want you to take notice of, guys, is obviously the rate of this move up. Now let me just, I'm going to go to number 2 here, and I'm going to delete everything off the screen here for a minute. Let's delete all, because I want to show you something here. All right, so by looking at this, guys, by looking at the overall market now, we can see it's slowly stepping up. And I was saying to you guys that, that when the market does this, when the market starts to create like a bit of a, this is like the bit of a channel formation that it's actually in right now. If you look at that channel there, right, somewhere around about there, maybe a bit lower. So there's possibly a bit of a channel that it's in right now when it comes to that. That could be possibly a bit of a channel through there. I also do know that we do definitely have a lot of support and resistance going on through these levels through here. So you can see that point through there, and also that point through there. So you can see how it's obviously been channeling up and so on and so forth. So we're in a channel within a channel. So the thing is guys, is that yes, we can continue to channel up here, continue to go forward, and it's looking at this market, guys. Looking at this market, what I do see. Let me take everything off the screen again here for a minute. What I do see is this: is that you can see how obviously things are starting to move and things are starting to happen here. Let me just draw a few trend lines here. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to draw a few trend lines. So the first trend line I want to draw is probably through there. That'll be the first trend line I draw. So that's definitely broken that. Oh, that's definitely broken that. See, what I'm trying to do, guys, I'm trying to say, okay, what's actually going on through here? What's actually happening through here? And then obviously we have this other sort of channel going on through there. So we have that sort of action, don't we? You can see It couldn't close below there, could not close below, could not close below, could not close below, it closed below. So look at that there, guys, look at that. And the closing prices are the most important prices. So it closed right there, it bounced off it there, it could not close below, could not close below, could not close below, bounced off it there, closed below there, and now we're at this level through here. So I'm not saying that that means anything. You know, support and resistance lines don't really mean a lot these days, you know, in the relevance of this move anyway. And so what I do say, guys, is that we still are in this overall nice big upward channel. We've actually broken out. Let me just take that off the screen. We still have broken out of that channel. We still definitely are in this overall channel moving to the high side. And so, guys, one thing I do see, guys, is that the market is yeah, I can see how the market is slowly stepping up. And as I was saying before, that if we have a look at these support and resistance levels, that was the support and resistance level there. That was the high point through there. And you can see how when the market finally closed above it, it ran up. This is the S&P 500. That was the high point through there. And you can see, look at this here. That was that high point through there. And you can see how that the market definitely held support through there. Let me open this screen a bit more. And then you can see that this high point through here, I was talking about this on yesterday's video, but I also want to show you what I see now. And then that was that high point through there. So this is the first time, guys. This is the first time that we got a close below this high point through here in a long time, where it's actually breaking up support, hit resistance, come back up, hit a lot of resistance, break back down. So we are definitely getting a lot of flip-flop around these levels through here. So that's so once again, guys, I do see, by looking at this and by looking at the markets and stuff like that, I do see that, you know what, that yeah, we're probably going to get a little bit more push to the high side. But looking at this bigger picture here and looking at sort of the weekly charts as well too, this is the weekly chart here. Looking at the weekly chart is definitely also making this sort of flag formation. That's a very, very weak sign, guys. Now, yes, we may get a little bit more upside today. Yeah, because we had a follow through here, we may get a little bit more upside today. But I don't think there's actually too much into this. I think moving into the end of this week, moving into the start of next week, we're likely to start moving down and start having that breakdown. So that's what I do see on the S&P 500. Let's continue through here. Let's go to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, same things, guys. That actually held it and then supported it, ran up. It's actually interesting. A couple of days ago, I said we're likely to come down to here and then support it and then push back up. And then when we push back up, this is going to be the last little push. We might get maybe one more update, and then I think we're going to start rolling over. So we'll see about that. And the reason why I say we'll see about that is, well, let me actually just go through the Russell. Russell only had a 1% update. You can see the Russell still in that overall big sort of big channel still as well too. It's hitting that overall resistance level. And the Nasdaq had the biggest update out of all of them. 1.5, 1.6%. So Nasdaq is really heated up. Nasdaq actually had similar volume as well too, as it has had for the last week. So lots and lots of volume is going into the Nasdaq right now. So what I wanted to show you is the hourly charts. So I want to show you the hourly charts. I want to see on the hourly chart. So firstly, I can see on the Nasdaq's actually closed. You can see the very, very close. The last hour just shot straight up. If I go, say, to the 5-minute chart, you can see, yeah, the last 20 minutes we just shot straight up. So that's what I see on the hourly charts, guys. Let's go here and let's go to the Russell. Now look at this on the Russell. If the Russell fails here and starts to head back down, so we actually, you can see here, looking at the overall flow of this market. The market's ran down, had a little trough, came up there, hit that point through there. Hit that point through there. You know what? Actually, let's do this. Let me get this trend line through here. And let me go to line chart. I'm gonna grab, what color can we grab? We'll grab a blue. Alright, so we're gonna grab this here. So let's just do this here. And let me just show you what I see moving forward and why I see what I see moving forward. So that there, you can see how it's broken down through there, came back up, created this lower peak, it's come all the way back down. In fact, what is that there, guys? What's that there? Oh, is that one of my sort of the reversal flags? Remember I said before, right? The flag we're in right now, as you can see, we're in that one where it runs up and runs up like that. That equals more downside. Well, look at that one there. What is that? When the market runs down and then just keeps going down like that, that equals more upside. Look at that. Ran out perfect. So now we're starting to get a bit of a move to the high side into this area of resistance. So, but we are starting to breach or get at this area of support, and you can see here on this hourly chart, guys, that you can see that this whole area through here is indeed an area of resistance. So here's what I'm saying. If the Russell does hold here, this is for the short term anyway. If the Russell does hold here and start to head down like that, then we're likely to start going right back down to this bottom of this trend line and start to create maybe a bit of a channel through there. So looking on the hourly chart, say on the Dow Jones as well too. The Dow Jones, even though it bounced off, this channel through here, it bounced off, came back, and then we had the last hour pop to the high side. So again, guys, if you have a look at the hourly chart on the Dow Jones, it's definitely forming a lot. There's a lot of resistance around this 17,800 mark, as you can see. So we can see there's a lot of resistance through here, a lot of resistance through here, and now we're sort of climbing up through here. So if we do not break above this 17,800 mark and then race to the next resistance levels, it's likely to hold here, and then we're likely to start seeing that downside movement. And also looking on the S&P 500, same thing, guys. It created a basically a double top formation through there. Hit resistance 1, came down, hit resistance 2, came down, created this lower trough through here. Now it's running up. It's trying to run up as much as it could. Like the last hour, the market started to take off a lot, and so at this, we'll get racing for these new highs through here. So we'll see what happens overall, guys. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see a little bit more follow through tomorrow, maybe into this area of resistance, and then that'll be the last push before I see late this week, early next week, and then I start to see a lot more downside to come in the markets. So looking at other markets too, guys, like looking at the TC 2000. If I look at the weekly charts, once again, weekly charts, guys, what do I see? I see the exact same thing. You can look at that there. Right, this here is just one of those type of flags that's bearish, guys. It's bearish. This is a weekly chart. You watch over the next month. We're going to start to have some nice movement to the downside, especially on the TC 2000. T2 100, advance the decliner line. You'll be able to see that. So just keep an eye on for that, guys, because you watch. This is a definitely a bearish pattern, and it's going to start forming out real soon. The market is struggling to push higher highs, especially on this advance the decliner line chart. You see how the market had a high here, and it ran up, and then it had a high here, and then it ran up, and it failed actually, and it ran there, and it came down. So it's pushing high. The thing I'm looking for, guys, is when are we going to break this trend line through here? Because when we break this trend line, if we break this trend line, it actually might happen tonight. Break that trend line, come down through there, and then we start the movement on the downside. So, yeah, but as you can see, the market is definitely holding up nicely through here on the advanced decliner line. Looking at the other markets, guys, like the VIX. The VIX actually had a 8.6% pullback onto the VIX. It's at this support level here. I actually like the VIX myself, and obviously I got into the VIX myself again this morning. So I like the VIX long term, guys. I think that it doesn't, especially in this economy, it won't stay down here too long. I think we're likely to start seeing some significant movement on the upside. Looking at the VIX coming real soon. So looking at that, but then also we have things like silver as well. If we look at the bigger chart on silver. Silver definitely, guys, is trying to form a bottom, because if you look at, say, gold has definitely already made a major higher peak, and now it's come down and made this trough through here. We're definitely having this sort of holding level where we are right now on gold. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, to see gold start to take off through here, and then the S&P and the US market start to go down. Hey, it's John Howell here, and thanks so much for watching my video. You see, I'm putting out daily videos and education on helping you learning the art of successful trading. So click on the subscribe button to keep up to date with every video I do. Also, check out my story video, $250,000 in debt, cancer, overweight, family passing away, lived on the streets, and more, and how I overcome it and now thriving through my life. This is here to motivate you, so click on that image to watch my video. And lastly, if you're struggling with your trading, then you need to see my latest webinar where I'm sharing with you an amazing strategy that allows you to generate an income without getting the direction right. So click on that image on this page to register for my next free webinar. This is John Howell here. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.